All right, first fishing trip done. Totally got skunked. I didn't get a kayak permit, so I didn't get out on a big lake, but the other day I was looking around on Google Maps and I saw this place, so I came over here. It's just this tiny little pond, and there were some little fish. I didn't see anything big. I didn't see any out of the water either. So I haven't really bank fished in quite a while. I'm really spoiled being on the kayak because, you know, you see a spot, you paddle to it, and there you go. This was pretty hard to get to. On Google Earth, it looked like it had a lot of access to the shoreline, but it definitely did not. There's a couple like kind of places where people have just kind of a natural path like that, but very thorny, and it was very muddy, which I think it's really just low, and that's why it's muddy, because we were on the bottom. And if it were full, I don't know how you'd really even fish it. So I guess I'm glad I came out here while I did, even though it was a bus. It was a decent walk back there, so that's good. I'm going from here to home to get changed and get Sawyer and going to the gym, so I probably won't do much of a warm-up. I'm already kind of hot. It's like 70 something degrees here. It was just freezing cold 2 days ago, so that is definitely welcome. Very welcome. I didn't bring much with me. I brought my medium heavy lures and my telescoping Pass Pro one. And I only brought, I brought some other lures, but I have a Ned rig with a craw on it. And then what Sawyer calls our OP, which is chartreuse jig head, and black and pink tube on there. It's always, these two are really good for me to just find out, is there anything here that'll bite something. Rarely do you catch something big on these. Occasionally you can usually get some pretty good numbers and feel out what is in an area. And I did quote unquote clean out my truck. It's still like dirty, like I need to clean the floor mats and everything, but I rearranged everything, so I keep that with me. And this little fanny bag. It's got just basics, crappie jigs, a couple ones, different hooks. And then yeah, I put my rod back into the seat because I got rid of a bunch of stuff in there. I'm wanting to get one of those folding toolboxes that mounts to the side and goes up over the wheel well, and then you can drop the tailgate and fold it out. I think a lot of the stuff that I have in here would go really good there. And here we are back in the truck talk. Oh man, I've got sunglasses, a goatee, and a truck. I should start putting some conspiracy theories on the internet, because, you know, real talk, This is the valid. Oh. Tore up deer carcass here. This is a hunting area. I don't know, somebody that knows more than me. I got really excited. Like, I had to stop on my walk coming back. Like, the first couple of casts, my heart was just like pounding. It was just exciting, you know. Every time I would cast out, hoping I'd get a strike on the end of the line. I didn't. Yeah, and then I was walking back and kind of have anxiety issues anyway, and I started to have like a full-on anxiety attack. Which, I mean, sometimes that happens, especially like if I'm out alone, right? You know, no buddy or nobody. My brain, even though I might be focused on something, my brain goes through all of these terrible scenarios of what could possibly happen. How would I get out? How would I go from it? It's really frustrating. When I'm in better shape, I have that less. I never trust my body. I don't know why. I just don't. I always worry about not physically making it. So that's a lot of being back at the gym. You know, I know if I'm picking up, you know, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and you know, I'm doing some cardio, I know that builds up my strength and stamina and just kind of overall resilience. It sets my mind at ease. But it's hard. It's like a lifelong thing. So partly used to it. Spent a lot of time medicated for it. Not currently medicated at all. And to top it off, these last few weeks have been stressful. In the last few months. Just a lot going on. Just a lot at work, a lot at home. Our lives are really busy, and I'm a hobby collector, so fishing is time consuming. Not just, because it's not just the fishing, which you've got to, you know, you got to make time, especially if you're taking a boat out. You got to, you know, make time to get the boat, get it somewhere, get it loaded, get launched, get to a spot. It just takes a lot of time. It's so rewarding. It's so worth the time for me, but that takes away from other things that I like to do. You know, that takes me away from home, it takes me away from the kids, it takes me away from my life. There's a balance there somewhere. Trying to meet it. And then not just the time on the water, there's like time preparing. Like yesterday, after work, I spent a long time respooling not all of, but my 4 most used rods and reels. Took all the line off, cleaned and oiled up the reels, put new line on, just that stuff, you know. It takes time. It takes time to tie knots that I haven't tied in 4 months and remember how to do it. And then there's the research time, right? Especially leading up to a tournament, because I've got to figure where I'm gonna go, where I'm gonna put in at, where I'm going to paddle to, what I need to take. You gotta manage time. I gotta make sure, you know, there's a lot of gear to keep track of. Not just like the you know, clear fishing gear, you know, rods, reels, tackle, all that stuff. I pretty much have my system that I like for the way I fish. But other things like, did I bring enough water? Did I bring sunscreen? Does my phone have enough battery to take the pictures for the, you know, catch, photo, release nature of a kayak? Is there internet? If I can't get to the internet from my phone, do I know where I'm going? Did I study the map well enough? Can I pull up a map? Can I cache the map? This is all stuff you gotta go through in your head. What's the weather like? What's the weather gonna be doing? You know, if it's I mean, it's 20 minutes to go a mile paddling a kayak. Which is, I mean, that's fine. That's like a walking pace, you know, 3 to 4 miles an hour. I can maintain that 3.5. I'd say indefinitely. I don't know. I've never like been in reasonable waters and had that be an issue. But I have been in 20-mile-an-hour wind that freaking zapped me going a quarter mile. So, you know, what's gonna happen in that scenario? Did I bring food? Did I bring a dry bag, clothes, towels, and all that stuff? Like, there's a ton. Are the fish finder batteries charged? Just a lot of plan. You know, like I started this piece of rant for time spent on Google Earth, Google Maps, Navionics, looking for places that are reasonable to get to paddling a kayak, 2, that look like they produce fish, and then finding a place, and then finding where I can put in, because you're usually restricted to, not usually, you are restricted to some places to put in. You know, it's got to be publicly accessible, it's got to be legal, you know, whatever, and that can vary, but for the most part, these are, you know, public programs. A lot of work to line all that stuff up.